Hi, welcome to the photogrammetry tutorial. In this tutorial, I will walk you through a workflow between 4 different softwares. And it's not so much about learning one particular software, but it's more about understanding how to create a photogrammetry model that will be lightweight but produce high resolution rendering results. So to start with, I'm in Reality Capture. You can essentially follow a workflow that is pretty self-explanatory here in terms of following the steps between add imagery, process, and export. So the first step, I'll just click inputs. And here I already have a folder prepared with a bunch of photos that I want to import, so I just select all and say open. I do get a little warning sign here, incomplete camera sensor info, don't worry about it. This is not an issue in general, and you will get fine reconstruction results even if you don't have these this camera info downloaded onto your computer. So it's just something essentially to ignore. So here you could press start, and that would just automatically run through the process with default settings. But in this case, we actually save time by not going with the default. If you can walk away and just hit start and have a few hours, then that can be a good idea. But in this case, let's just hit onto align images, and you can see that with 50 images on a laptop, it is relatively quick at aligning these images. As soon as you go over 100, it can take significantly longer. Here you can minimize this tab, this kind of progress tab, and then keep on working in Reality Capture and using other software. And you can always access the progress here in the progress window by saying show progress, and it just finished actually. So we can start already seeing our sort of sculpture, the grotesque that was scanned. Here I can see that already that it's a little bit angled, so I can go into reconstruction, into the reconstruction tab, and then set the ground plane. So here I am hit set ground plane, and I can sort of rotate my model slightly to look more like has a straight ground. And then if I hit reconstruction region, it will automatically kind of recalibrate the region to fit my new ground plane, and I can make it a little bit smaller since I don't need to, I'm only interested in the sculpture, in the grotesque, so I don't need to calculate anything more that's around it. So now we have kind of a new, more defined area to work in. So back into workflow, I can go into calculate model, but by default it will create a normal quality model, which can take quite a long time. So if you want to work very quickly, and often it is high enough resolution, actually you can go into preview quality, and you can see that it really just takes a few seconds for us to get kind of like an initial idea of how well our scan worked out. So if you have time, definitely go into normal or even high resolution quality, but for the purpose of this demo, this should be quite good. And because it's pretty low resolution, we don't need to go through the simplification step. If you're going to normal quality, definitely make sure to simplify here under 1 million polygons. So here you can set the target triangle count under 1 million. So right now it's 500,000, which is also, especially for smaller models like that, a good idea. If you have over 1 million, you might get issues with importing into other software. So you can then essentially skip the colorizing step for our purposes, because we're mostly just interested in the texture. So hitting the texture button, it will generate a high resolution texture model for our project, and that will take a few minutes, so I'll just skip towards it being done.